I've been sleeping ever since that day you...
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. This is indeed the final episode of Monster. Here we are. We have arrived, as the kids would say. That's a cum joke. Can you believe it? It's been 74 years, and our journey is finally at an end. Before we get into the final episode, I just want to say, the show has been definitely a long-ass ride. I've enjoyed it. And afterwards, after this show, I say this every single time a show ends, but feel free to recommend me shows. If you know of any good shows, let me know. Doesn't mean that I'm going to be reacting to everything you guys say, but if you have some sort of show that you think is really maybe underrated or just cool or really good that you think is good, that you think I might like, let me know in the comments and I'll put it on the list. You can also recommend me YouTube videos if you think, there's like cool YouTube videos or interesting YouTube videos that you think I might like. I also have my own list of anime that, well, not just anime, but shows in general, of potential shows that I might react to. And I'm probably gonna pick one of those. Now, after Monster, I did consider immediately going into another old show called The Legend of Galactic Heroes, I think. I think it was The Legend of Galactic Heroes or something. I don't remember what it was. The Legend of... I know there's The Legend of Legendary Heroes, but that's not what that's a different show. I think it was The Legend of Galactic Heroes or something. Old show that is very highly regarded, that I've never seen. But it's like, it has like a very old-esque art style, which I'm not a fan of. But I consider that, though another problem with it is that it's like 100 episodes long, so it's like, ugh, that's a long ride. Regardless though, let's talk a little bit about what happened previously on episode 73 before we jump into the final episode. If you saw my reaction to that, you would know that I was not a fan of that episode. I think they are going down a path, a direction that I do not agree with at all. The fact that the fucking homeless guy was the one to shoot Johan is, in my opinion, in my personal humble opinion, incredibly, ridiculously stupid. It's like you are building up for the main character to fight the villain, the bad guy, and then right as you're having this confrontation, some random background character just waltzes in and shoots the bad guy. Like, huh? Huh? Who? It's like completely undeserved. I feel like being able to shoot the villain and potentially kill him needs to be a thing that the main character earns, or someone earns, or at least has a connection to the character. Like there have been stories where the bad guy eventually gets killed by the people by his own people, basically, right? He gets betrayed because, he's the bad guy, right? He's the villain, so he gets betrayed by his own people. Sometimes when the writer, doesn't want the main character to kill or be the one to kill the main villain, they end up like having someone who is connected to the villain kill him instead. Like, for instance, instead of having the main character kill the villain, they have like the son or young daughter of one of his victims come and kill him from behind, or something like that. Like, it's kind of like justice. Someone who was connected to him or was a victim of him in some way gets the satisfaction of being able to kill him. Someone who is connected to him in some way should be the one to kill him, not or even shoot him. Even if it's not to kill him, at least to shoot him. It should not be some random background character that we didn't even learn anything about. I just I thought it was stupid. Anyway, let's get into the final episode. And I hope to God that they don't save Johan. I understand that this is kind of like a story point for Tenma, that, you know, he wasn't wrong when he saved Johan, and he's not going to be wrong if he saves him now. I understand what they're going for, but it's stupid, because sometimes you just gotta kill these people. Sometimes some people are just too dangerous to be left alive.
From Mount Olympus, Zeus commanded his mortal subjects to live off the land. They obeyed and
Stop,
learned...
Carl. Your recitation is so stilted.
Sorry, Father. I guess I was trying to be careful.
What happened to that Japanese doctor?
I am
Traveling
Japanese.
quite a bit now, Father.
I see. You know, I'd really like to meet Dr. Tenma one more time.
Me too.
I'm doing this for the final time. That was the final. Can you believe we're never gonna have ever again? That was the last time. Ever. We're never gonna have it again. It's never gonna happen again. The real monster was the demons within ourselves.
Started the job? Glad to hear it. What kind of work are you doing?
I'm an interior designer these days.
Oh, I see. You're not drinking anymore, are you?
No, not a single drop.
That's good news. Try to take your time and enjoy your life. Even if we rush, tomorrow will arrive at the appointed hour, same as always.
You've always said that's what real happiness is, haven't you?
That I have.
Happiness. Huh. I can't forget his words. He said that he was happy just knowing I was waiting for him at the station.
Ah, this is Martin you're talking about.
People are such strange beings. The sad memories seem to just fade away until all a person's left with are the happier ones. People are certainly designed so conveniently.
Well, they don't fade away. It's just
That's the whole reason we can...
you try not to think about them.
Mr. Grimmer.
I did do
Wolfgang.
some research and found out as much as I could about you. You were one of the children from 511 Kinderheim. But in all your investigating, the one mystery you were never able to unravel was that of your real name.
Wolfgang Grimmer.
His name wasn't the only mystery. He left without telling us anything about himself.
Inspector Lunge.
I'm no longer an inspector, Detective Suk.
Oh, well, sir, you have...
On these nuts.
I have other priorities. I talk to my daughter more now. Well, email, technically. We lived our lives without knowing anything about one another. For years, we never discussed anything. Only one thing matters to people. It's all about how much we can communicate during our lives. Grimmer probably had lots of things he wanted to talk about.
Please, call me if there's anything you need. Remember that Dr. Gillen and I are always here to help you. Dieter is too. And him.
Do give him my regards.
I will. The questioning of Dr. Tenma is still continuing, but the real truth is still unknown. Inspector Lunge begins his testimony in the Tenma case. Could this possibly be the worst multiple homicide case in European history? Dr. Tenma is found innocent of any crimes. The police issue a formal apology to Dr. Tenma. The motive for these murders still remains unclear. Just who is the mysterious young man who's allegedly the real culprit? Dr. Tenma joins the aid group Doctors Without Borders. The articles become shorter and shorter. People are certainly designed conveniently, huh?
I want to say something, but it's like I'm waiting for some sort of flashback, right, to show what really happened. Because honestly, I'm feeling like we're missing something. Tenma got up after, you know, he was called to assist with the patient, got up, walked, and then it ended there. So what the fuck happened? Did he save Johann or not? It feels like they just skipped to the epilogue. I'm waiting for that, like, flashback to show what happened.
Hey! Dieter! You give this bill to Tenma, and if he doesn't pay it, I'll see to it that he ends up an underground doctor again. Tell him I'm not kidding!
The problem I'm having right now is none of this matters to me because I don't know what the fuck happened. There's a time and a place to show an epilogue before showing what actually happened. And this is not it. Ew, what the fuck is that?
Where you went? You haven't stopped by for quite a while.
Where's his beard?
I'm sorry, I've been out of...
Oh, holy shit, that looks bad. Oh my god. Oh my god. Jesus. Who is this guy? Bro, he looks so bad without the beard. Oh my god.
Here, I brought this back to share with everybody.
My, you really shouldn't have. Oh, thank you.
Are you familiar with Mendel's work?
Yes.
Is this the
He's a
mother?
famous geneticist.
That's correct. I studied at the same university Mendel attended in his day.
Brno University, in the Czech Republic. It's down southeast in Moravia.
It's a nice city.
I'd like to see it someday.
And you. You have something you want to ask me, don't you?
If this is the mother, I guess, because I'm thinking like, who was the chick that that saved Grimmer then? Because it definitely wasn't Nina, right? How would Nina even be there? Wasn't there some sort of connection with the guy, the leader of those men interrogating Grimmer, and that woman, right? Like, who is the woman then?
Yes, I do. You're the mother of the twins, aren't you?
Yes. I loved him so much. And he was killed by that man. It was all part of his experiment.
It was all according to Keikaku.
I will never forgive him. Not for what he did. Even if I die, these children growing inside of me will punish that man for what he's done. He will definitely pay for everything that he's done to us. Who is the real monster? Who is it? Are the twins still? They're alive, aren't they?
Yes. They're well.
I just remembered.
You can tell me if you like.
I might not remember this ever again. If I don't say it now. I gave names to both of those children. And I'll tell you what their names are.
Well, as usual, I see that you are tardy. You are 10 minutes late for our appointment.
I'm sorry, Professor Kronecker.
Your apology is accepted. You know why I called you in today, don't you? It's about your senior thesis. This thesis is far and away the best paper written by any of my students in all my years of teaching. I'm quite proud of you. You have done an exceptional job.
Thank you very much, Professor.
What do you want to become?
I want want to become a lawyer, sir.
Well,
Really?
I imagine that a great many people will be saved by your skills.
I have a lot to say about this episode.
However, don't think you'll be allowed to be tardy for court, Fräulein Nina Fortner.
I have a lot to say about this episode. And not all of it good.
Congratulations, Nina!
Thank you, Dieter. But once I'm in law school, the real studying begins.
Let's celebrate! Come home already!
I can't come home for at least another day. I've got work. And I've already made plans with my friends.
What are you talking about? Tenma's coming back to see us. Tenma just called. He's heading abroad soon for the MSF, but first he's coming here.
When?
He said he'd be here by tomorrow, so you better hurry.
Oh, Nina, about our plans for tomorrow? Sorry, won't be able to go. Tenma. I'm going to see Tenma.
That's great and all, but like, I think there's something big that we're missing, you know? Maybe someone?
You've been sleeping ever since that day you were shot.
What the fuck is this? Oh man. Oh man. You guys are gonna hate me for this. You guys are going to hate me for this. Oh dear.
I had the opportunity to talk with your
Oh
mother.
dear.
She still loves you very much. She told me what your real name is, Johann. You have a name.
Oh dear.
Dr. Tenma, there's something I want only you to hear. That time, long ago when the monster appeared in front of me.
Don't touch my children! Get away! Don't you come near us!
This is an experiment. We will leave one behind and take the other one with us. This is an experiment. Now, which one are we going to take?
Don't let go! Don't let go! Don't let go! Don't let go!
Did she let go of Johann's hand? Was that it?
This one. No, wait. This one!
Oh. Okay.
Was my mother really trying to save me that day? Or did she confuse me with my sister? Which is it? Which one of us didn't she need?
Oh, for fuck's sake. I have so much to say about this episode. And it's not gonna be pretty. Trust me on this.
Well then, I guess this is goodbye.
I could have told you this was going to happen. Oh my god. this is the last episode, right? You know, let me tell you something, right? So recently, some time ago, a little while ago, I got Dragon's Dogma, the game, the video game, on sale, and I ended up finishing it. I played it, I finished it, right? And everyone says, or pretty much everyone says, you know, all the more popular, like, you know, YouTubers and streamers and like a lot of the more popular people say that, oh, it's a very good game, and a lot of reviewers also say that it's a very good game. And then I played it, and most people say it's an 8 out of 10 or 10 out of 10 or whatever the fuck, right? That game is dog shit, okay? And the reason I'm talking about this is because while that game, or the combat in that game, is good, the story is broken. It is completely incomplete. It's like 50% of the story is there, and then the rest of the story is just gone. Literally, it's just gone. It like doesn't exist. It's like they're like 50% of the way through the story, and then they just hit the ending button. And it was probably by far the shittiest story I have ever played in a AAA RPG. And it was probably the biggest disappointment of a story that I had experienced in a while. Now you might be thinking, oh shit, is he gonna say it was the most disappointing story I've seen in a while? Until now. I almost want to say that. So last episode gave me a bad feeling, and this episode definitely confirmed this bad feeling. And you know me, again, I tell it how it is. I tell it how I see it. I don't bullshit. If something disappoints me, I will say so, and I will say that this disappointed me heavily. Okay? This show, with this ending, does not deserve the hype that it has. It doesn't. Fully, right? I expected, with the amount of hype around this show, I expected a much, much better resolution to the story. A much better resolution. Before I even talk about the fact that they just kept Johan alive. So, you're telling me that probably the absolute worst serial killer, who is in a coma or some sort of, you know, unconsciousness, right? You're just keeping him in a completely unguarded hospital room that doesn't have... It's just a hospital. It's not like a prison hospital. You're just keeping him in a normal hospital without the windows being locked or anything like that. There's no guards inside the fucking room. You're kidding me, right? Like, you're kidding me, right? Like you're kidding me, right? This guy is the worst goddamn serial killer that probably this country that they're in has ever seen. Probably. Maybe except Hitler, but like, you know, still, right? This guy is a massive, massive threat. And we have multiple cases, multiple people who can confirm this. We have Tenma, we have Lunge, we have all the other people, Nina, Reichwein, all these people who can confirm this is the guy. This is the guy who manipulated serial killers to kill people, and he himself killed a bunch of people, orchestrated the whole massacre of that town, and you just leave him in a hospital room with no guards, like, huh? Excuse me? Hello? What am I missing here? Because I'm like, I saw this, and I'm like, bro, This guy is the smartest guy. And he's evil. And he's a fucking serial killer. And you're just leaving him with an open window where he can just jump out if he wakes up? Like, am I missing something here? Last episode, I was already like, after all the build-up with Tenma being on his journey for so long, like intending to kill Johan, right? Same with Nina as well. Nina had more development to like forgiving Johan in a way, you know? So I never really expected Nina to kill him. And Nina had her moment where, you know, she couldn't do it, right? And then some random homeless guy comes and shoots him. Like, that was already like, are you kidding me? And then they decide to keep him alive? And then not only that, they also decide to just leave him unguarded in a just a hospital room where he can just escape any time. Serial killer, by the way. The worst, absolute worst person, the most skilled manipulator and serial killer out there who controls other serial killers, and you just leave him unguarded? What? I just... How? What? What? Honestly, like, what am I missing here? Straight up. I really feel like I'm missing something. Like, I missed a whole episode or something. What did I miss? I didn't miss anything. This is still the most dangerous serial killer in their fucking history, probably. I don't fucking know. Point is, that, like, it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make any fucking sense. What? And then the thing that I thought was going to happen just happened. He just escaped. Like, huh? What? Guys, this... I'm sorry. It's disappointing. It's stupid. Sorry. Like, I'm sorry, but, like, it's stupid. And again, I say it how I see it. Like, what? This doesn't make sense. What? They just let him go? I guess? I don't know. I mean, I don't know what to say. Like, I fully expected... I don't know. I fully expected them to show a little of this, like, epilogue at first, right? And then cut to what really happened. Like, I don't know. Like, Tenma goes to the ambulance and then is about to, like, look at Johan's wound and then finds that, oh shit, it was just a scratch. And then Johan opens his eyes. Hello, Dr. Tenma. And then he's like, oh my god, what the fuck? And then it turns out that all those doctors in the ambulance, or you know, in the helicopter ambulance, whatever, were all, you know, undercover like serial killers that Johan had planned and brought there, right? And then, I don't know, he has a confrontation, or he gets taken, dropped off somewhere where they're alone or something. And then, I don't know, they have like a real face-off. And then in the end, I don't know, Tenma has to kill him for some reason. I don't know. Maybe Johan like pushes him somehow for the greater good or something. I don't know. Anything but whatever the fuck this was. And then after that, you could have the rest of this epilogue, which would have been great. But like, what the fuck just happened? So in the end, the whole story was about trying to kill Johan and catching Johan and stopping Johan, and then we just let him go, and everyone lived happily ever after. I honestly have no idea what to say. I fully expected some sort of mind-blowing ending. Or some sort of mind-blowing resolution or something. Because I'm gonna be honest. I think the journey that we took to get here, it wasn't bad. It was pretty good. But it was at most like a 7 out of 10. Like, the journey was... It was... Sometimes, honestly, some of the episodes were kind of fillerish, I felt like. Some of the episodes didn't even need to be there, I feel like. They definitely spent way too many episodes trying to like kind of doing the same thing where, you know, Tenma would arrive somewhere and then help save someone, and then they would really like him and be grateful to him. And then as Tenma would be leaving, they would be like, "Hey, Tenma, don't kill anybody. You're not a murderer. You're a good person, right?" You could have done that like twice, and that's it, right? We kind of get the picture, but they did it like 10 times or so, and I feel like it was just unnecessary. What I'm trying to say is that the journey was at most like a 7. There was some 9 out of 10 moments occasionally. Some episodes were really good, but overall, I would say the journey to get here to the end was like a 7. Right? It was good, it was enjoyable, but it was nothing special. That's why I was expecting there to be some really good resolution to this. They set up things perfectly. Johan was a really good villain. So good, in fact, that it would have been cool to see that he orchestrated his own demise at the hands of Tenma or something. I don't know. Like, Tenma kills him and then finds out later that everything was part of Johan's plan. Maybe he even had letters written to Tenma and Nina, that would be sent after his death, knowing that he was going to die exactly the way he did, or something like that. Like some sort of mind-blowing plan that Johan would have come up with to create the ending, essentially. I don't know. I just expected so much more. What we got instead was some random guy comes and shoots Johan. Instead of having Tenma kill him, some random guy just happens to come across them and then shoot him, Johan. And then Tenma saves him again, and then they just let him escape. And that's... everyone lived happily ever after, I guess. If Dragon's Dogma 2 was the biggest disappointment in recent years for gaming, in terms of storyline, that I've experienced, at least, I think this is probably the biggest disappointment for anime, for me, that I've experienced in the last, some years. I can't even say what would have been an even bigger disappointment. I mean, Death Note, I suppose, was a big disappointment back then when I first watched it. The only show that comes to mind when it comes to, the ending being disappointing is, I think, Death Note, where the rest of the show is pretty good, really good, and then the end just blows. I don't know, man. I don't know what to say. At least Nina didn't die, I guess. That's a silver lining, but holy shit. What the fuck was this? Why? I just... Dude, you give me 2 hours, I could write you a much better fucking ending. Seriously. I'm not even joking. Now, I'm not gonna do that, because, I can't be asked. But, I don't understand. Do people think that this ending is better than, let's say, just gonna throw out something random, let's say in the previous episode, when they were face to face, right? Let's say, Nina arrives, right, and is like, "Hey, Tenma, don't do it," right? And then, he takes out the gun, aims at the kid, right? And he's still not shooting. And then he's like, okay. He goes and aims the gun at Nina, right? And then Tenma's like, "Don't do it!" And then Nina's like, "Oh my god, don't, please, Johan, stop this!" And then you know what happens? He pulls the trigger. Johan pulls the fucking trigger. Okay? The gun goes off. Nina, falls backwards in slow motion or whatever. And then Tenma, yells out, "No!" And then shoots Johan. Not in the head, but, maybe in the heart, I don't know, somewhere where it's a fatal, but he's not gonna die immediately, right? He falls over in the rain. Tenma immediately runs to Nina, trying to check her wounds. But it turns out there is no wound. Huh? Did Johann miss? No. Turns out he shot a blank because he predicted this would happen. He wasn't going to kill his sister, but he knew that that Tenma cares a lot about Nina, and so would do everything to prevent Johann from killing him, or killing her rather, or something along those lines, right? Like you can kind of maybe change a couple of things around here, who knows? And then they go to Johann's side as he's bleeding out, saying stuff like, oh, you loaded your gun with blanks. They're like, oh, he predicted this would happen. Oh my god, this was all his plan, or something along those lines. And then he has I don't know, as the rain, hits his face as he's lying there, surrounded by, Nina, Tenma, and the kid and the psychiatrist guy, right? He goes into some sort of monologue about how he lost his name and whatever the fuck, right? They do the classic monster monologues, right? And then I don't know, Nina starts crying. Tenma's I don't know. Tenma's kind of looking conflicted, and then slowly but surely he dies. And then maybe we cut to a grave. The grave is I don't know, Johann Liebert, I guess. Nina and Tenma are both there. Maybe Nina goes to say I'm sure all his victims would disagree, but I still wanted him to have a proper burial or something like that, right? Something along those lines, putting some flowers on his grave. And then they say some final stuff to each other, to Johann's grave and stuff. And then they go and they have the epilogue. That could have been, in my opinion, that would have been much better. It wouldn't have been the most epic and the most the best ending ever, but it would have actually in my opinion, at least made sense, or it kind of flowed with the story properly, I feel like. And it wasn't even that good. I just came up with some random bullshit. Now, again, if you gave me a couple of hours, I could probably come up with a really, really, a lot more in-depth, mind-bendy type of, plan that Johann might have come up with to really mind-fuck with Nina and Tenma and plot his own demise or something. But I'm not going to do that because, I can't be asked, as I said. All I can say, honestly, I'm going to be completely honest here. Holy disappointment. What the fuck happened? Actually, what the fuck happened? I have nothing to say. I'm speechless. Even if, for instance, right, even if you wanted to have some sort of scenario where you wanted to keep Johann alive for maybe a season 2 or something, I don't know, right? Let's say, for instance, you wanted to keep Johann alive. Well, how do you do that? Well, you could have had Johann come up with some intricate fucking master plan where he makes everyone think that he's quote-unquote committing suicide, right? He plans out everything, sets everything up perfectly to where it looks like someone killed him. He arranges it so that maybe Tenma or Nina or someone takes a gun that has blanks in it or something, right? They end up getting the gun with blanks in it, and then they use that gun to shoot Johann. Johann already prepared for this, obviously, because he planted the gun for them to find, and then he has like a blood bag or something that he pierces to make it look like he got shot, and then he pretends to die, and then while everyone thinks he's dead, he actually is alive. Or something else. I don't know. You can do pretty much anything you want. Kill him, keep him alive, but this is not it, man. This is not it. They just save him. Some random guy, some random homeless guy shoots him. They just save him, and then they just leave him unguarded, and he escapes. And then everyone lived happily ever after. What? What? I just can't. I'm sorry, but what the fuck? And I would love to read some of you guys, trying to defend this. I'm sure there's going to be someone trying to defend this, but I'm sorry, this is undefendable. Like, you can't defend this. This is not a good ending. Like, it's incomprehensible. It's illogical. There's no fucking shot that this just happened. This is like the worst serial killer ever, and then they just leave him on guard. What? Oh, what? Oh my god. I need a drink. I need a fucking drink. Ultimately, now I have to give it a rating. Now, I don't often do ratings. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But I think I'm gonna give you an... I think I can give you an idea of what I'm feeling by giving you a rating. I'm going to give this show a 6 out of 10. Yep. No, you know what? I'll actually give it a 7, not a 6. There were definitely a lot of like good moments that I enjoyed, where I thought it was picking up and it was good. I'll give it a 7. You might be thinking, holy shit, what the fuck? So low? Are you serious? Fun? Hello? Let me explain. If the ending was thought out and Johan had some master plan, some sort of incredible, deep, sophisticated fucking perfect plan where everything went according to his plan and then he maybe like killed himself or something with his plan, you know, like something incredible, then I would have given it a 9. Okay? The reason I would have given it a 9 is because the journey, Tenma's journey, and basically the entire journey that we've been on really was kind of mediocre. It was good, but it was kind of mediocre, right? Like, I mean, it wasn't that special or anything. The thing is, the journey would have been heightened. The greatness of the journey would have been heightened by the incredible ending. Okay? The rest of the show would have been elevated by the great ending. However, because the ending sucked, yes, the ending fucking sucked. I'm gonna say it now. It fucking sucked. Because the ending sucked, it doesn't elevate it. And honestly, just makes it more disappointing. So if the ending was even at least like somewhat decent, just I don't know, like I don't know, basic shit like Tenma, Johan have a confrontation, Johan's about to kill Nina, Tenma shoots him, he dies slowly in their arms, right? Just something, even that would have been better. But because the ending was so dumb, where they just like, they save him, no, he gets shot by the fucking homeless guy, who? Why does he matter? Why is he the one shooting Johan? Like, it's like, and then they save him? Even though the whole point of the fucking, the whole journey was to kill him because he's too dangerous to be left alive. And I get, you know, they did the whole thing with Tenma where it's like, yeah, he saves everybody regardless of who they are, blah, 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 right? I get that. And then they like leave him. Yeah, he's in a coma or a state of unconsciousness, but like they just leave him unguarded in a hospital room. That's it, and then he just escapes because you have no security. What the fuck? What? Like it's borderline stupid. So yeah, the ending literally downgraded the fucking journey. It made the journey worse because there was no. What's the word? I know there's a word for it. I can't think of the word right now, but like there was no satisfying conclusion. There was no deserved conclusion for the whole journey. Basically, the entire point of the journey was just thrown out the window, and they just let him go. Like, what? I'm baffled. I'm baffled. All I can say is, it is what it is. It is what it is. Unfortunately, it did not satisfy my tastes. Maybe for other people, like, I don't know. Maybe they really loved Johan and they wanted him to survive and become a better person, I guess. Or something, I don't know. But to me, I don't know. Thank you guys for watching. I think I'm just gonna go lay down for like a couple hours out of disappointment and just try to regain my sanity. If you consider me an asshole now because I didn't like the ending of your favorite show or something, then it is what it is. Like I've said before, I tell it how it is. Still, perhaps I'll see you next time in some other show. And yeah, goodbye.